Hello and welcome to my battle report. I am Pseudonymster. This is the first round of the IGL tournament. Uh, I've delayed on bringing it out because I didn't want to worry about people seeing lists and whatnot. Um, because that happened to me before. Lobo, definitely not talking about you. But anyways, I'm going to use the map as it is and just kind of push pieces around, explaining how this mission went. We were playing Unmasking. I am running Corregidor. My opponent is running Oban. Um, that they won. No, I won the lieutenant role and chose to go first because I did not want JSA to go first. Sorry, Oban specifically. Um, so he chose sides. He chose the blue side, and I got the lovely red side. Blue side, I think, had better spots for HVTs because Unmasking, you have three HVTs you have to worry about. Speaking of, I don't think I put them out for him. I will just use Candy Cloud. And this is all to the best of my recollection. I've got broad strokes for sure correct. Um, but like specifics on what units he was running, I might have missed a little bit. But yeah, so I was deploying first, and on red side, I decided to spend, the command token on speedball and holding an extra reserve back. I have a duo of evaders that I held back. They're on the map right now, but pretend they aren't. Uh, I like having an entire duo that can just go wherever I need it to go. But let's just go through my deployment. Starting with the HVTs, I had them spread out. The HVT on my left is behind this train part and the stuff piled on it. The one in the middle is behind this little pink kiosk. I think he was shoved away in the corner. And the one I chose to be the real one is the one tucked onto the right, who is going to be covered by a few things. So the Moran is, I only got one in this list, but he's pushed as far up as he can go. He's right up against the exclusion zone line, and his crazy koala is right there next to him to cover the HVT. Probably should have had these switched. It's pretty difficult to get this Moran down and into the action if that's what you want. Uh, and I think he ended up doing some shooting like late game, but not too worried about that. Right behind him, I have a Salute, which is the Nomad Baggage bot, and this is the TR variant. I really want this to be good. I really like the idea of just an extra TR combi hanging out somewhere. Uh, and I did get some shooting out of him again late game, so that was nice to just have a combi somewhere. Um, but I'm still not convinced it's worth the double cost it is. But it's baggage. It's right behind the Moran, who's going to use the baggage for crazy koalas, and right in front of Jazz, who's going to use it for presumably pitchers. Um, I did not have the evaders down yet, but they do end up kind of ready to push forward on the right. Later on in the middle, we have Senior Massacre and two Jaguars. This is a completely cohesive Harris. So they get the dodge bonus and the +3 on top of +3 to discover on top of the special die for shooting. Um, But this is a mistake. This Harris is a mistake. I have the cheapest Jaguars. I think it's like one more point or two more points or something like that, and they get Panzerfaust, and that's really good for like an 11-point model with Dogged just standing out and looking and being difficult, especially late game if they're doing nothing else. And then Senior Massacre doesn't add a lot to this. He's like a better Jaguar, but Jaguars are fine at what they do. So what I end up doing later games is moving him to hang out with the evaders because he adds close range um, +6 bands with his boarding shotgun. He adds eclipse grenades, and these guys are kind of my main movers moving up the field, so they can use that. And he adds obviously close combat capabilities and templates with his boarding pistol. He adds a lot to this the evader link that the Jaguars don't. It's just kind of redundant. So they're in the little bus stop there. Back here, I have a flash pulse. It's kind of watching to the left and not much else. On my far left, I have in, in this giant rectangle right here is difficult terrain 0G. It's like a good size of the map, roughly a fifth of the map is 0G on the left here, which is interesting. Uh, which I like. I think terrain doesn't get used often enough in real life maps, um, and I like those skills being useful, the terrain skills. But up in front by the HVT, we have a intruder, the infiltrating intruder with a APSMG with an extra burst, and a killer hacking device. So for unmasking, he gets the bonus. He starts up forward. Again, the exclusion zone makes me a little sad, but I can make up for it with the terrain total. He gets a little bit of a movement boost. And I really like this profile. I have yet to get him to like go off like I want him to. And I don't know if that's because he's not as good as I think he is, or if I'm just bad at playing him. Probably the latter. Um, it also doesn't help that I always forget to do my speedball on him. But we'll get there. Behind him, we have Billy and McMurrow just kind of hiding, ready to. Both my intruders are on this side, so McMurrow's smoke can do work here. And then on this train in the back is the other intruder. He's watching this kind of diagonal. This is the multi sniper, FYI. So he's watching this diagonal. He's watching kind of straight across, and there's like another diagonal he has like into this room. Um, the inside the train we have my missile bot to give Jazz's hacking some teeth if there's not a lot of stuff to hack on the other side. And my Wildcat, definitely not my lieutenant. Don't look at him too hard. Wait, no, he's really not my lieutenant. Stop looking. Lieutenant. Uh, Dug in as hard as he can, being protected by a sniper. The missile launcher's here to do guided. He also, in late game, I like putting them in spots where you could spend an order on him, possibly while you're doing guided, to move them out to actually C and ARO. That they get their usefulness that way as well, especially when you're going first. You just pop them out for end of round 3 and have your opponent have to deal with them, slow them down a little bit. And if it hits, it wrecks face. So that is my deployment. His deployment, pretty sparse. I'll keep the perspective the same. So on his HVTs, Again, I think he chose this side because it had slightly better HVT spots. He had one on the right, one in the middle, and one on the left. The one on the left ended up being the real one. Spoiler alert. I don't think he had anything in this little Defiance area, which was also a 0G um, zone. But he had Neko Oyama, who was prone. He had an Arigato Killer Hacker, a Kempe Tai boarding shotgun, which I was pretty sure was chain of command, and have since looked it up, and it is chain of command. He had a bunch of mimetism -6 camo markers in his deployment zone. I was pretty sure they were Ryukin, but I was thrown off because I didn't remember them having a decoy. But once the first one reveals, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's why there's so many of them. His mine was so two Ryukin, they're mine. A Karakuri, I believe he brought the Mark 12. Again, this was a while ago, so I don't remember exactly, but it was definitely a Karakuri. He had two basic baggage bots in the back, and another Ryukin with its mine, and a engineer. Not 100% sure what flavor this was, but it was I'm pretty sure it was the engineer. Okay. My reserve, as mentioned, was these evaders. His reserve was a infiltrating hidden deployment unit rolling on a 15, so I was pretty sure it wasn't Kitsune. I was pretty sure it was an Oniwaban, and it was. And it landed successfully somewhere. And at this point, he had, I want to say, 9 units on his side, and so he had he had 6 spaces for ninjas and stuff. Yeah. So he killed the grid, and he probably stripped 2 orders from my uh, uh, combat group 1. Again, don't remember exactly, but my first play um, was to move forward with my intruder, and I ended up moving him up to here and prone before he got discovered. And by being there and prone, he couldn't. So, there being directly behind the console, uh, he didn't have any lines of sight on my guy. I pushed the button successfully. Let me just put a little nomads over this. Not so little is that. Uh, uh, press it successfully. Whenever I play Unmasking, I always just ask about the closest HVT. I don't bother trying to figure out which ones they're most likely to be the real one because I'm more concerned about killing more of them and killing what's right in front of me. So I guess this one, it ended up being the real one. So I was like, dope. This point, I saw the Karakuri here and wanted to move my intruder up here to, have a fight within 8. So I think my next play was to try and clear out the HRL. I declared Discover with the intruder first. And this is something I do quite often with camo markers if I'm going to be shooting with them against other camo markers. You don't want to give them a delay option sometimes, and I'll declare Discover. I mean, obviously, I have to declare Discover to even shoot these to begin with. But I'll declare Discover against already revealed units. so that'll take me out of ammo so that they don't have the option to delay before I choose my next short skill. Anyways, discover. He decided to shoot back. I happened to discover at the right one. Otherwise, I suspect he wouldn't have shot back. And he revealed an HRL and shot at me. I shot at him. Went down pretty quick. We didn't have cover versus each other, but we were long range bands helped me out, and his mimetism did not help him out, while my surprise attack and mimetism helped me out. So that was taken care of. I then recamoed this guy, walked him over here, and then went to have this fight. And that's when I discovered that this range band was longer than 8 inches, which made the machine gun real sad. He shot with, I want to say he shot with his, maybe he shot with the Mark 12. Don't remember exactly what he shot with. Whatever he shot with got me unconscious. And that was when I realized that this intruder in the back could move this way to see, kind of hard to tell from here, but that red line in the distance, that is that Karakuri. So I had the sniper fire at him. He ended up taking a wound and ending up over here after dodging, uh, which is what I should have done to begin with. And then once that guy was down, I could have moved over and shot at the HVT with the intruder. But you live, you learn. So I made that mistake. Next mistake, I got McMurrow involved. I brought him down this way and kind of just pushed him super forward. I got him to the point where this Karakuri got some extra dodges in as I was maneuvering this way, and he ended up closer, something like this. And I pushed to here to trip both of these mines. I did trip both of the mines, and that was when he revealed a ninja in this vicinity to shoot at McMurrow. I dodged, and I think I just chilled here. I moved the intruder sniper back to his like good like sight lines and recamoed him. I don't think I needed to have recamoed him. He's outranging everything on the board. There's still a bunch of hidden deployment stuff potentially, so it's technically safer, but in hindsight, I probably might have used Jazz to get some repeater up. I didn't do that at all this turn. And he's got a lot of things that are hackable. He's got the Arigato, he's got Oyama, um, the Karakuri. All his big pieces are hackable, so I really should have got some hacking done, but I didn't. So, end of my turn, I pushed a button, I killed his rocket launcher guy, and that was more or less it. So, on his turn, he only had something like 4 orders in one group and 5 in the other, which I should have clocked on my turn. I should have realized that I didn't have to go at him to kill him because he already was low on orders. I should have focused on, like I said, expanding my repeater network, on pushing the buttons, on killing this HVT. McMurrow could have done that very easily on his turn, but he didn't. Uh, I'm fine with where I left him because I knew it was going to be a bit of a problem with him. He ended up facing something like this to see the ninja and the Karakuri. And was just kind of ready to take combi rifle shots in the back. But anyways, my opponent's turn. And he starts off with Wan Wan coming in somewhere around here. He ends up spending these orders, moving up and getting into close combat, getting close to close combat. I think he dodged in like this. I don't remember exactly how he ended up here, but he did. And then his Karakuri touched McMurrow. McMurrow punched, but Karakuri like tanked the hit. Um, Karakuri should have a wound at this point because of the sniper, but he's still up. And now the McMurrow is touched by Karakuri. Wan Wan punches him. McMurrow punches back. McMurrow actually ends up winning that and taking out the Wan Wan, which is great. Uh, and then he uses his other pool to, I believe he recamos and just starts like, doing the predictable thing and coming with the ninja. Do Wan Wans have smoke? No, that wouldn't have helped either. Not quite sure if the Wan Wan just survived all the shots with my sniper or what. Because I definitely would have been shooting, but who knows. Anyways, uh, Ninja Hacker gets up here, kills McMurrow, again survives. Um, did he throw a clip smoke somehow? I don't think he has access to a clip smoke. Maybe my sniper was just real sad that day. Who knows? I do remember he was left kind of in the middle of nowhere like this. Um, and then I think the very last thing the opponent did was pull out another Ninja KHD, run it to here to push a button, and end up in this corner right by this HVT. He successfully, because hackers be hacking, successfully pressed this button, guessed the correct HVT, and moved up his. Oyama spent like his lieutenant order or something and ended up here. I think that was basically his whole turn. He killed McMurrow, he pushed a button, and had revealed the correct HVT, much like I had him. Oof. Okay, so that was all of round one. I'm doing pretty good on orders still. He's killed McMurrow, who was an irregular, and my intruder. Oh, I forgot to mention at some point when McMurrow was moving up, I tried to do speedball. Definitely should have done that on the intruder. APSMG before he went down, but alas, I am terrible at remembering it. I tried to do Vita Pack right in front of McMurrow and it failed. This is when he was moving up. Again, it would have been better earlier on, but it ended up somewhere like here. I had the vague idea that Billy could pick it up and go save the intruder. This ended up being something else and landing right here, and I did, yep, it did that. So my second turn was starting with this ninja killer hacker. I was gonna kill it. So I moved Jazz into group one, which was, I believe, my third command token usage. And so I moved Jazz somewhere around here. And I'm getting ready to just chuck a pitcher and, say goodnight to the killer hacker. But as I do that, his Oni Waban shows up and drops a nanopulsar. I was like, oh no. So I dodge with Jazz and I roll and I succeed and I get like a couple inches of movement. And then I realize, oh, you just revealed your Oni Waban. That triggers this crazy koala. And the crazy koala ended up taking out the only Oban, which I'll take any day. Um, Spent a couple more orders on Jazz. I shoot a repeater over here, right next to the ninja hacker. I end up trining it to death, and Jazz is just hanging out over here. I think Group 2 orders were spent on the sniper. He took out this KHD ninja because that's an easy shot. He moved over here somewhere to try and take shots at this guy. This guy. I don't know if the uh, Discover didn't go off or what, but that guy sticks around, I believe, until I think I tried discovering him. I think I ran out of orders and it didn't work. I moved up with the evaders and I took the evader to shoot at him, which was a bad idea. He has mimetism -6. This was a real long range. Was it still within? Anyways, long story shorter, pretty sure this guy blew up because mimetism -6 is hell of a drug. Uh, this evader ended up here and prone, protecting the designated target or whatever it's called. And I think that's more or less my second turn. Yeah. I didn't get much done. And his next play was, I think this was the turn he moved up with the Arigato hacker, who was in Cybermass state. He brought another Wanwan in, and I deleted that mini. Other one. Yeah. He brought another one in here using the you could walk in from the side rule. I believe it was within 8 of the real thing, and I got a dodge to go prone. And he spent like the rest of his turn trying to get in with the Wanwan, and it wasn't working. Targeted, and this evader was getting in the way, and the hazmat was making the dodge when he was laying down the chain rifle. I think the Wanwan ended something like this on my turn. By time it was my turn 3. Bum, bum, bum. Again, other stuff probably happened. Just don't remember it exactly. And then it was my final turn. I'm sorry, trying to remember what the Salute was shooting at. Because I thought maybe I stepped him out a bit to see more through here on my turn. Any Hoosers. The end of this game is really eluding me right now. I remember how it ended points wise. I ended up killing this Wanwan somehow. My HVT survived. His HVT survived. On my turn 3, Jazz made a run this way to flip this button and reveal another HVT. And when I went to do that, he revealed another ninja hacker and shot a tack bow. I thought, oh, I could dodge and get over here and be safe, and then go on a run against the stuff over here. I think this was over, yeah, this was over 8. That was the plan. So I dodged. I failed to dodge. He successfully got the hit. He was on something not great. I don't remember if it was within 16 or not, but he made it. Killed Jazz. And then his turn, he also didn't get much done on his last turn. So the game ended with both of us pushing a point, or pushing a console, and killing none of the HVTs. So I think it was like a 4-4 tie, which was real frustrating because I felt like I had killed a lot of stuff and I should have been fine. What I should have done with Jazz is just push the button. If he was going to miss that shot anyway, that would have been nice. But I didn't. That would have got me the game, I think. But you win some, you lose some, you tie some. So yeah, that was the game. Ton of mistakes on my end. I forgot speedball. I misjudged this distance with the intruder. I did the wrong order. The sniper should have done sniper things first, and then the AP SMG could have gone in and done work there. But yeah, I've got 5 more of these lined up. That should hopefully come out pretty quickly. I'm going to try and keep them around half an hour like this one is. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.